Hello YouTube, I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're jumping back into Parcel Simulator. When we last left off, we tested our revamp of our warehouse, which was quite time consuming and money draining on me. And we found a few problems which we fixed, but obviously there are definitely more things we can do to make our warehouse even better. If you like my channel and like what I do, please consider liking and subscribing on my YouTube channel. It will help me out a lot, and I do appreciate the support. Let's get moving. There's no time like the present, right? Today, I kind of want to try a couple of things. It is Sunday, it is only a truck day, and this monstrosity has a couple of major flaws. The first one being this conveyor belt. It is too short. The other one is this entire thing needs to get moved this way. So I am going to attempt to do that right now and kind of do another rebuild on this entire thing. And I shouldn't say rebuild. That's really exaggerating. I'm moving stuff. It's basically what I'm going to do. This table has proven to be problematic. A lot of the times last test is the packages were jumping into the invalid sections, the parcels were jumping into the invalid chute because they would come through here and they would kind of bounce. They bounced onto this conveyor and down that way. Not exactly the way I wanted to go with any of that. So I definitely want to move this system around a little bit. This is what we're going to do. We're going to move this entire thing this way. And I say that kind of lightly because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to set it up yet or what it's even going to look like. But I just know that it's going to be different and hopefully a little bit more efficient than what I was doing before. I still have to take some caution, basically because I still need to have room to do everything else. First of all, let's move this stuff. All right, I've kind of shut down this conveyor section and moved some of the racks over, well, the racks I was using for the inspection and just holding valid parcels for the time being. I'm going to take this section and move it back this direction for my table and set that up. So this is the last machine that the valids come through. Once they are labeled valid through all of these machines, they need to come back towards me, towards those storage racks to be stored, and then for me to sort appropriately. Although I think what can happen is I can set this up so they come into this conveyor and get sorted automatically, which would save me one further step. All right, everybody, let me explain what I did now that I've got it done. I ripped down my conveyor line that's going to invalids, and then part of this that was going over here into the truck and train combination bay. I took some of those. I didn't rip everything down. As you can see, I have plenty of conveyors to work with, which is nice. So this is the last machine. If the parcel makes it to this machine and comes out as valid, it is a valid parcel at that point. It's going to come through this conveyor, up and over, in this chute. If it is an inspection, which is still what I have to do, I still have to inspect, it'll kick it through this rack right here, which will come over to my desk, and I can open it and check. And then if it is approved, it can go back on this conveyor and be sorted appropriately, whether it be air maritime, which is over here, truck straight ahead, train to our right with the orange storage racks at the end. Invalids are still way over there. If I inspect a parcel and it's invalid, I need a way to get it to this train in this direction, which might be somewhat complicated, but I think doable. I'm just not quite sure how I would work that. I'm okay with doing a little bit of, just manually taking the invalids over there, as it's not going to cause too much of an issue for me. Next thing I want to do is make this line longer. I want to be able to have this line kind of snake, and I think I'm going to try that with some of the conveyors and such that I have left. So I'm going to do that, see what it looks like Basically, I'm just making a longer train to give the parcels time to be unloaded, get through where they need to get through, and then go on their happy, merry way. All right, I finished setting up that. Is it pretty? No. Is it going to work? Don't know the answer to that either, but we're going to give it our darndest shot. At least it's got a little bit more of a trail to come down through here before it goes into the machines to be checked for their corresponding set of criteria. The last thing I'm wondering, and I think I'm going to go for it, is the automatic valid sticker machine that basically says the parcel is valid and can be moved through. Now, I would love to put it here, but that doesn't solve the problem of the ones coming off of this conveyor, which I'm not even sure if this little thing is going to work. I don't even know. I would prefer to just maybe set it back a little bit, like over here for an automatic, it's valid. I can't even do that though, because if they're need to be inspected, I don't even need to put the inspection back here. Let's change something quick. All right, I moved the required inspection conveyor from back here to here. So it's going to catch the required parcels first. They're going to come to my table. I'm going to check them, and then I'm going to send them on their merry way back through the conveyors to get sorted. So I need to figure out how to make up a line that will go back into this line, which will probably need another joiner. I'll see if I have one I can use, but that way they'll come back into here. This is going to be all backed up, I'm afraid, and I don't want it to be, but it might have to be. I don't have enough room really for the rack and the loader and unloader belts to store things to make this move smoother, so I may have to keep an eye on that a little bit better. Therefore, I don't need this line here either, unless they're approved. If they're approved, no, because they haven't gone through everything. They've only gone through this, so I would have to send them back through. They couldn't go back this way. Let me set up another piece. All right, I'll give this a go. I'm not feeling real optimistic about it because I can see this inspection area getting backed up quite a bit. However, I don't really have too much of a choice. So if they're going to be inspected, they're going to come down to my table. I'll inspect them, then send them back on their way so they can go through the rest of the machines and see if they're approved. Then by the time they get all the way down there, they're either going to be approved or not approved. And my approvals automation sticker thing should be fine for over here. Therefore, I am going to purchase one even though it is $3,000. I might as well. I have placed it kind of just after this last valid comes through, so it will be truly valid if it comes through here, even inspecting wise. Yeah, and if I inspect it and they're invalid, I'll just run it over to the other line for now and keep myself a hair more sane. I guess the only thing we have left now to do is test this beast. Let's give it a shot. Okay, no time like the present. Let's open. Again, it's Sunday, so we can only take truck deliveries. It's not running too badly, but I do see a problem. And the problem is I took away the conveyor system going to the invalids in that corner, and the invalids are still coming off the sticker checker machine. If they got an invalid sticker, a denied sticker, they were supposed to move through that conveyor system over there. So now I'm thinking, how do I fix this? How do I get this machine over this way? Or do I just continue to string it through the warehouse as I have done previously? Decisions. I must say the conveyor system coming off of the second truck, making it loop a little bit longer, is helpful. It's definitely helped me out. It's really bad because I can see some of these that are denied, and I'm resisting the urge to actually mark them as such. All right, our day is over. A few little hiccups. The sticker checker machine, if the package is stickered denied, I have to fix that. But it works kind of well to stand here in this corner and just see if they're approved. I can automatically put them on this train or this conveyor belt because they're just going to get split and sent to their appropriate place from this point. So that doesn't work out too bad to have it set up like this. The longer train coming from that truck bay definitely was helpful. I did get a little worried. I saw like the other one getting backed up, but I think that's where me sorting by hand a little bit will help speed things along too, at least until I get a tier 10, I think, of the warehouse. And then that will open up another row of upgrades, which I'm going to need a considerable amount of money for, because the machines upgrades I think are like 10 grand. It doesn't tell me, but I think they're 10 grand. Anyway, I'm going to go through these parcels, see which one of these are denied, send these off, and then sending everything out that I can for the day. Out of all of those, just one little denied guy. Good cash. Cash is not allowed. Okay, I've sent out what I could. And now all I need to do is figure out this little tiny blunder of a pre-sticker denied. I would love to snake it back this way. I'm not sure how. I think I accomplished what I was looking for. Going back to this section of conveyor belts is going to be really hard to manage from this point, which is the point I'm concerned with. It's just a really tight spot, and I'm just not sure I can accomplish what I want to. So I just reset up this entire line that goes into this invalid chute in this corner like we were originally using. So we are going to utilize that line yet. However, I am not going to be utilizing this one, so this was all tore down and reused in this train, and then our new trains over here, making the inspection table be placed here instead of at the other end of the warehouse, and then bringing in the valids back to this point so they can get sorted appropriately. So I think this will work pretty well. There's nothing left to do but test this new wacky theory, right? And I think that that should tell me a lot more about how my build is going to be functioning the rest of the time here. So I think that's going to be it for this video. We'll wrap it up, and next time we'll test this new beast and see how we like it. Hopefully it works well for us. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It does help me out a lot, and I do enjoy bringing you content just like this. So I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Bye-bye.